Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Word, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID, and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me, and these bitches I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Nah, think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
All right, Shalom, Lord of Christ. Shalom, Lord of Christ. Let me move this over a little bit so I can get kind of in the middle. All right. So this is the ISUPK Brotherhood and Sisterhood class. All right. It encompasses both parties. All right. This is something that we both have to have. I know, a lot of times it goes in one ear and out the other, but you have to make sure that you put the other hand up so it won't go out the other end. All right. So hopefully by the end of the sister put her hand down. So that's what we're going to be talking about. The name of the show is of the class is racism is practical, not irrational. So control your thinking, right? So you gotta be prepared to control, the way you think, the way that you approach situations. Like these are the things that is going to be the tall tale of how you're going to be able to carry yourself when under pressure. Remember, we talked about it like a few classes, a while back, but the presence of mind. And the presence of mind is very, very important because it gives you the ability to make the right decision even when you're under pressure, right? Or you're put in a position where you can make that wrong decision, but you choose to make the right decision, right? And a lot of times we get caught in that particular, like whatever situation it might be, we get presented with the ability to make the wrong decision or the ability to make the right decision. And a lot of times people make the wrong decision because it's easier to make the wrong decision. It's harder to make the right decision, right? Because it hurts, right? Why do people smoke weed and they don't stop? Because it hurts to stop. Because if you stop, you're gonna have to deal with your body not being feeling the same as it would if you was a smoker. All right. So with brotherhood and sisterhood, the one thing that we definitely have to fully well understand is that our brotherhood and our sisterhood, it is detrimental, not detrimental, but it is a necessity for us to be able to overcome racism, to be able to overcome white supremacy and all the devices that are put in our way to keep us down and to keep us to keep us down and to keep us from not understanding that true power that we actually possess. All right. So let me get Jeremiah 2:33. All right. So, Shalom, Tazaliah. What's going on? Martin Israel checking in from Portland. All right, Portland. All right, it's probably what? Might be 4 o'clock over there. Trooper Nahalia. All right. What's going on? Erica Davis checking in from Felton, Delaware. Oh, okay. Felton, Delaware. Oh, okay. I got you. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to change that name back. You're gonna change that name back. You're y'all recall. And Kayal, what's going on? All right. And so if anybody got any questions or whatever, feel free to ask them. And also, if y'all pretty much know how I do class. So if you got something that you want to add into the class or whatever, this is an interactive class, and we definitely interact to get different points of views, and so that we can drive the class forward. All right. So the first scripture I wanted to go to was Jeremiah 2:33.
Come. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Right. So why do we do that? Anybody? Why do we see? Because this is a question that's being asked. Like, why do we trim our ways to seek love? Like we constantly trim our ways to seek love because in this system of white supremacy, this system of oppression that we're under, it seems like that's the easier thing to do, right? The easier thing to do is to consider the life and welfare of our oppressor over our own, right? And the best thing that we can do as a people, the easiest thing that we do as a people, right, at the behest of our leadership, right, is their best interest is our best interest. And we feel that if our best interest is what their best interest is, then we'll be able to reap some of the benefits of being accepted, reap some of the benefits of the good life, or whatever we perceive as a good life in America. Go ahead.
I didn't catch that scripture.
Oh, Jeremiah 2:33. All right. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Yeah, because this is very, very important for us to understand, right? Because this is all we do here in America. Like, this is what our leadership constantly gets us to go out and do. We trim our ways to seek love, right? We trim everything about ourselves to be able to seek love from the oppressor. All right, go ahead. Could you read it one more time from the top, please?
Come. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Right. Why do we do that? You know what I'm saying? We do that because that's the coward way to go, right? And when we do it, we don't even realize that, even though, they might have the resources, right? They might have the money and the land, all of those things, right? But at the same time, we still have our mind, right? We still have our body. A lot of times it's looked upon as, people think that even though they have the resources and they have these things in place, we feel like we can't have power unless it's validated. Remember last night on the show, shout out to Commander John Yohana, who, invited me to, come on the show yesterday. I didn't think I was going to get invited up, but, I was ready to go when he made the call, when we was there or whatever. But one thing that Yediah said was that he was at a city council meeting, and a sister got up and basically was saying, basically laying it down, like what was the plan of action, how we should move, everything, right? But at the end of it, she said, well, all we got to do, all these things that we can do, all we got to do is get this person elected to do it, which was, the oppressor, of course, right? And Yediah said that he stood up and said, well, why can't we just vote for you? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we just follow you and you just do everything that you just said and laid out? And then he said the lady got quiet. She got quiet and sat down. And it's because we don't consider, because of our leadership, right? And how our brotherhood and sisterhood is so broken. We don't see the power in each other anymore. Right? We see the power in the oppressor. Their interest, right, is our best interest. Right? Mataza Pa brought it out in the Delectable Negro book. It's that paternalistic relationship that we have with the oppressor. Right? They're the father, the mother, and we're the children. Right? Who is weak in America, right? And basically, we'll just let everybody run over top of us. I'm gonna talk about that scripture. Remember the one was that we lay down and let them walk over us? Salakia. But go ahead, warrior. Mm-hmm.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Say that one more time.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Right. What we don't understand is that we have the power to solve our own problems. We have that power, but we don't choose to take it because we're too busy out trying to vote. We're too busy out trying to, figure out who the next person is going to be that's going to finally do right by Black people, finally do right by the Hispanics, finally do right by Native Indians. And we constantly see time and time again, that's always the way that we get shamed. We get shamed every 4 years. Every time we have a politician come into the soul food restaurant, and serve some okra, right? We get shamed every time they come and kiss a Black baby, right? We get shamed every time they go to the barbershop and take a couple of pictures with you for your Instagram. We get shamed when they go to the rap moguls and, the rappers and the trumpet players and the comedians and entertainment, right? Because they understand that that's what we're consumed with. Our mind is always consumed with BS. Like, think of it like what the average person is thinking, right? Israel. I'm gonna say that for example, right? Israel. What's one of the main things? What is our mind mostly consumed with? Anybody? Mm-hmm. Right.
Love from the white man.
Right. That's our mind. Israel is consumed with sports, rap music, entertainment, turning up, twerking, right? Looking good on Instagram, social media, right? And all the other things that really mean anything, like resources, land, economic status, political status, military, all the other things we don't care about. We let the other nation take care of that. We let the oppressor take care of that because that's not what we're consumed with. So what do we essentially become? Consumers. Consumers in a capitalist system, right? Consumers in a capitalist system without power. So what do? We get to run and jump over. We get to run and we get to trample for the new Jordans that come out. Everybody gets to profit off of our sisters with their hair. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have that power that we want, because I've said it before, because we live vicariously through the oppressor. And this is what our leadership does. And this is the breakdown of brotherhood. This is why it's so important, because it's necessary for us to actually grow, right? It's necessary for us to be able to explore other avenues, right? Strategize and come up with the best, strategy for which way we should go. All right. One more time, warrior. Mm-hmm.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Mm-hmm.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Read that last part one more time.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
How do we do that? Go ahead.
Accepting them into our groups and organizations.
Right. That's exactly how we do it. We accept them in our groups. We accept them in our organizations. We accept them in our rallies. We accept them in our marches. We accept them all the way around the board, so they know how to destroy you, because we teach them how to. We teach them how to destroy us each and every time, because we don't have the skills necessary to, be able to understand that our power lies within us, separating from, the system of white supremacy, right? Whatever we give our spirit to, that's what we're going to empower, right? What we don't give our spirit to, it's not going to be powerful, right? What do we give our spirit to on Sunday night? Halloween, right? We gave our spirit to it. Guess what happened? We all got shot up. Shot up. 13 shot at a Command General Hunter brought it out last night. It was like a party, a Halloween party, and it was like 13 people got shot and 1 died at a Halloween party. Now imagine that, you getting shot by Count Dracula. You know, I don't want to get shot. You know, imagine getting shot and you got a monkey suit on. Imagine that. They got to come and take the mask off to see. They got to take the head off to see who you are. Right. Right. And this is what we empower. We empower everybody. And everybody is able to benefit in our destruction, in our calamity. And this is why we shouldn't teach the wicked ones our ways. This is what we do. This is how we're taught to do it, right? And this is the issue. All right. Let me see. All right, we got Kawa. Oh, Kanal Gabar. Okay.
Are these repeat ones?
It might be. What? Oh, Coco Israel. Shout out to you. Gia Livingston. Shout out to you. Robert Cherry. Oh, what's going on, Warrior? All right. Emma Edwin. All right, Emma Kaya. All right. Shalom to all of y'all. All right. If you need to have the class or whatever towards like, you know, credit for you to get your name, stay in the class.
Right.
All right. Don't come in so I can see your name and then roll out. All right. Stay in here. All right. We have got some good information coming out tonight. All right. All right. Let me get Proverbs 8 and 33. Proverbs 8. You know, we got to get a mic too, so that they can hear you real clear too. We got to get that like set up like yesterday. All right. This is going to be Proverbs 8 and 33. Let me get there with you, Warrior, real quick. 8 and... All right, here we go. Yeah, that's a good one. That's the one I want. Yep, that's it right there.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 33. Hear instruction.
Say that one more time.
Hear instruction.
How do you hear instruction? You hear instruction from the priest of the Lord, right? You hear instruction because the instruction comes out of the scriptures.
Right.
Right? Remember the precept, the Lord always spoke at the mouth of his prophets. That's how the Lord speaks to you. The Lord just, you know, a lot of people be like, well, the Lord just speaking to me, you know, while I'm at home. No. The Lord speaks with you through people, right? Through the prophets. That's the precept you need for that, right? Through the Lord has always spoken at the mouth of his prophets. So when you get instruction, you heed to the instruction because that instruction is coming from the Lord. All right. So read on.
And be wise.
And be what?
And be wise.
That's a hard thing to do for a lot of people, is to be wise. That's like, man, that's like, I don't know, kryptonite to some people, right? You got to be wise in your decisions that you make, right? Because your decisions that you make can affect your life. It can affect the way you move forward. You know what I mean? You always want to progress. Each and every day, you want to be a better version of yourself, right? So you always want to, you know, every single day is a chance for you to get better, right? Every day is a chance to learn something new, right? If it was something that you're working at, then figure out a way that you can get to where you want to be, right? So that you don't keep repeating the same step. You know how many times, like, I see people, right? I see people in the world, right? And they still asking me questions about the same scriptures. It's like, damn, you stuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see brothers and sisters that I know from the world on the same block doing the same thing. Niggas is 46, 49, 50. Niggas is on the block. You know what I'm saying? And I see them. You know, you always want to progress in life. You don't want to, because like once you start progressing, that's when you start dying.
Right.
You understand? That's literally when you start dying, when you stop progressing, when you're thinking that you know it all and you can't grow or nobody can tell you nothing. That's when you really start getting old, right? And so you want to always make sure that you are not, you know, You want to be wise. You want to receive that instruction, because anything that's coming down is coming from the Lord, right? The reason that the generals are able to give us good counsel is because of pain, right? The things that they went through, they're able to give us the counsel on it so that we don't make the same mistakes when we go through it, right? So you don't have to, you know how like they say, like, I'm going to go over the hill and take all the arrows, and then I'm going to come back and tell you so that you don't have to go over the same hill and catch all the arrows. But, you know, a lot of us, we want to go over the, you know, we want to go over the hill and get some arrows too, right? You want to go and, you know, learn the hard way. And we shouldn't learn that way, right? It says, read it one more time from the top.
Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not.
And what? And say that one more time.
And refuse it not.
And say it one more time.
And refuse it not.
Don't refuse it. Because what happens when you refuse counsel? All right. Hold that. Let's go to Hosea 4 and 6, right? Hosea 4 and 6. And then if you could, Matatapa, if you don't mind, could you please get Isaiah 5 and 13? Let's see the parallel between these two scriptures. All right. And you got it, warrior, whenever you're ready.
Book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Right. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because it has what?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Right. The knowledge. Right. The counsel that you receive. Right. When a brother is telling you not to do something and you continue to do it and you reject that counsel, what's going to happen?
I will also reject thee.
Right. In your time of need, the Lord is going to reject you. Right. Because I don't see why it's so hard for people to understand. It's like this, right? When I get an order, just do the order. Just follow it. Don't get counsel because it's just something good to keep somebody on the phone for 2 hours. And don't look at counsel as, you want to go to the counsel that's going to stroke your ego. Right? Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't just go lean on that type of counsel. Go to the person that you know ain't gonna rock with you the way that you want to get rocked with. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to that person that's gonna tell you the straight up truth. Yo, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You need to, fix it. Right? But we don't want to do that. We want to get counsel for somebody we cool with, right? But that's not always the best option, right? The best option is to go to a brother, right? It's good, and it's good to get counsel from people, from brothers or that's in the school that you're not totally all the way familiar with, right? To get a new set of eyes on the issue, right? To hear it out. If you got like one general that you always go to, maybe go to a different general, right? And then see and get another set of eyes and ears on it. Right? You always want to make sure that you hearing counsel, man. Right? And then when you get the counsel, you don't reject it. Right? Because that's not being brotherly. If you go, what's not being brotherly or sisterly is if like you call a brother and you keep him on the damn phone for 3 hours, telling him about everything that's effed up in your life, and then you get the counsel, and then you go and do what you want to do anyway. So now you just kept me on the damn phone. And I could have been, watching BMF or something. I could have been, a lot of things I could have did. Maybe nothing, right? Maybe I just lay here and stare at the damn ceiling. That's still my prerogative. Right. But at the same time, if you're going to get counsel, make sure you don't waste it. Make sure you listen. Make sure you don't reject it, right? Read on.
Oh God, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power.
Right. And that's, talking about the law or whatever. But you get my point. So, Matazapah, let me get the precept to that. Isaiah 5 and 13, please.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, my people
are
going into captivity.
Why are we going into captivity?
Because they have no knowledge.
Because they what?
Have no knowledge.
Right. That's why we in this captivity. Because nobody want to listen to nothing. This is exactly why we here. This is exactly why, just the idea. Look, if y'all could just feel me for a second. just for the very idea that we're still trying to get Black Lives Matter in 2021 shows you how destroyed we are as a people. To say the first Black, we're still saying the first Black whatever in 2021.
Right.
That's so disrespectful on so many levels. For them to say, well, this is the first Black person that graduated from Yale with honors. This is the first Black person who has gotten a degree for rocket science from some prestigious university. That is so damn disrespectful, right? You know what? The way that they should say it, the first Black person who got a degree in rocket science from a racist institution that always kept Black people back. that's how it should read. But they're not going to read it like that because it's always built to break down our brotherhood, to put the best of us against the other, right? And that has always been what's that word I'm looking for? That has always been a device of the oppressor, right? To break our brotherhood and sisterhood down, right? Remember, your mind, that's what we have. We have our mind. We have the ability to use our brain. We have the ability to have our body, right? You have it, right? You can control it, right? You can control your fingers. You can control your feet. You can control all of those things, right? So nobody's making you go vote. Who said you had to go vote? I talk to people and they say, well, I felt I had to go. Why? Because Puff Daddy told you to vote or die? Because, you know, they got, y'all ain't see, y'all see the video I put up about Al Sharpton? Let me see if I can show it to you. Maybe you can show it to the camera. If you can show it to the camera for me, please. Mataziala. I'm just gonna show it just for the people that's watching. Just so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Okay, hold on. Okay. Yeah, you can hold it up there. That's what our leadership does. That's Al Sharpton. And it says, Democrats, we need more Black voters. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Because of our lack of knowledge, we don't control the game. Right? This thing is a game, man. I'm trying to tell you, this thing is a game. And the more and more that I learn, is the more and more evident that it's a game. Right. Everything is a game. This whole thing is a game. And if you don't have the tools, right, and you're equipped with the pieces of the game to play it, then you are not even in it. And our people are not even in the game. We ain't even got opened up the box yet. And you know what? We don't even realize that we at war. You know, the Chinese understand that they're at war. They got brotherhood, sisterhood, all that. They understand they are at war with the West. The Arabs, they understand they are at war with the West. But that's our leadership right there. No credibility at all to the oppressor. The oppressor has no credibility to the oppressor. And that's why our leader would even dance like that. Show me white leadership dancing like that. Show me Kim Jong-un doing that. You know what I'm saying? The leader of North Korea. He would kill you if you try to even put out a video like that. Show me a video of Vladimir Putin dancing like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's serious. The world is serious. Right. And our people are the only ones playing. Right. We're the only ones playing. Everybody else is getting serious, man. Well, they've been serious, but it's even more serious now. It ain't no joke. Look, Commander Joe Yohana put it out there last night. 2 years, it's going to be crazy out here, man. You got people walking off the jobs already. I seen the video today. The lady was like, well, I just got fired from she was a nurse at Houston Medical. You know what I mean? A hospital in Houston. She was like, well, I just got fired today because I didn't want to get vaccinated. Right? You got the Salakia. Text message is blowing up. Colonel Wakan, sir. So where was I at? What was I at? Kind of lost my train of thought real quick. The nurse, right. So we got to understand what's actually really transpiring in front of our faces. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, and this might be a great thing for us. You know what I'm saying? Because then once we, you know, when we start getting shut out, when they say, oh, well, you can't come in here unless you're vaccinated, you can't do this unless you're vaccinated, then we've been here before. You understand? This might be a great thing for us. Because when we start to get shut out, what do? Just because they say you can't work. They say, well, we can't have jobs with them. What does that force us to do? Create our own jobs. Create our own places and spaces that we can enjoy each other's company. You know, create our own economy, our own banks, our own things, right? So that they don't always have to control the environment. Right? Because whoever controls the environment controls the people, controls the minds of the people. And we can't keep letting ourselves be controlled because we don't understand and we don't pay attention, right? Everything ain't a goddamn game. It's not. All right? Can you read it one more time, Tazba?
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13. Therefore my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge.
Right, because we don't have no knowledge, right? You know what we do? As a people, what we do what's expected for us to do. It's like uniform, you know? Like the cop kill you, what we gonna do? We're gonna march, we're gonna pray. Yeah, and we're gonna vote. We're gonna march. Because they control our environment so much that they already know the expected outcome of what's gonna happen. They know we ain't gonna do nothing because we got leadership like that who's dancing and doing the funky chicken. Right? This is what our leadership is. Our leadership is entertainment. We don't have black culture. You know what I'm saying? We don't have like black culture. What is black culture? I always hear that all the time. What is black culture? Anybody know what's black culture? Right. Black culture is whatever black culture is the way that we're shaped. We're shaped into what black culture is. Right? It's the imitation of the oppressor. That's really what it is. Because our culture is whatever we see today. Like Tom Ford, you want to get a Tom Ford shirt, or you want to get a Michael Kors bag. Why you want to get a Michael Kors bag? Why do you need a Birkin bag? Right. Who told you that? Who told you that was where it was? Who told you had to spend $100,000 on a bag? Who told you that? Who told you had to, have shoes with red on the bottom? When it don't even matter because the red is on the ground. You're walking on it. You understand? It's because we imitate the oppressor, and that's black culture. Our culture comes from music. Salakia. Okay. Go ahead, you got it.
Precept.
Go ahead, you got it, warrior.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Say that one more time.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Right, we're not supposed to envy them. You ain't got to do all of that. We can have all the. I get it. You wanna look like you getting money. All right, I get it. When you look good, it makes you not feel so oppressed, right? When you got a nice hat on your head, maybe it might make you feel like you're not in a situation, right? But the fact still remains that it's still the same. You know, like I'll give this example again because I broke it down in the class before. But it's like what they used to do during slavery, right? When they would lock us up in the stocks, or they would lock you up in, a room, a hot box or whatever, right? They would lock you in there for some time. And then when they let you out, they would let you go out into the cotton field. Right. Now in the cotton field, you could walk around and it feels free because you're not in the box. But the fact remains that you're still in captivity. I'll give you an example, right? I read this in a book, right? They did a study, right? The oppressor did a study on a dog. They put a dog in a box, right? They put a dog in a box, and the floor that the dog was standing on, they would shock it, right? To see what the dog would do, right? It was a study. So they would shock the dog. So no matter whatever the dog would do, they would shock the dog, and the dog would get shocked. So the dog, it was no way the dog could get out the box, no way that he could go anywhere or anything like that without getting shocked. So the dog understood throughout the study that it wasn't nothing that he could do to get out of the situation and stop from getting shocked. So what they did was they progressed along with the study, and they put the dog in a bigger box, right? But the bigger box had two sides. Now, one side, the dog wouldn't get shocked, and the other side, the dog would get shocked. But all the dog had to do was just hop over to the other part of the box. But the dog kept on getting shocked and wouldn't go nowhere, right? And that's essentially how our people are, right? Because we're like so beat down from oppression that we feel that there's no other way out. So we just got to get shocked all the time. We just always got to take the blows of white supremacy, right? So essentially, it's the same thing. It's like we've accepted the oppressor's dominance over us. You know what I'm saying? Like we fully well accepted it, and our leadership accepted that as the norm. Salaki, maybe I'm going too deep into it. They accepted it as the norm, the oppressor's dominance over us. And we don't realize that we can get out of it if we just move and do something different. If we just try something different, right? Because we've been so used to just being in the box all the time, right? But now we got a chance to remember, like I said in the beginning, we have our minds, right? We don't have to be a part of this system. If we separate our spirit and our mind from this system will fall. Because look, in Matalapa, they got the metaverse coming now. They got it coming. They got the metaverse coming. You think you think if you can't handle Facebook and Instagram and all that now, you finish when the metaverse comes. It's over. You're gonna keep those Oculus glasses on, and you're never gonna come back to reality. You're never gonna come back. You know why? Because they are working it so well. Like Matazaba, I was watching this thing today, right? They have already they got these companies, right? They got a company that you go into this thing and it takes a full body scan of your body, right? And it creates a straight up 3-dimensional avatar of your body. And you can take that avatar and go and play it in, like, you can use yourself to go play like Grand Theft Auto. You can use yourself to go into the metaverse. You can go to work. You can do everything inside the metaverse. They are trying to make sure that you are so occupied and not aware of what's going on in the world. Right. That they're creating a universe that's going to literally be online. And you're going to be in there like this all day. Yeah. What's up? Talking to people, telling them all your business. And that's what's going to happen. And it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. They already talking about it. They already got stuff already in play. They even got these companies that's already ready to be publicly traded by the end of this month. And it's already somehow right now. Like it's one called Mana. That's has to do with the metaverse, and it's a couple other companies that are coming out that's going to be getting IPOs that's going to be dropping, and that you can get into on the ground floor. You know what I mean, and make money through the investment, because they're investing and keeping people asleep for sure this time. They're definitely going to do it. And you better have a strong mind and be aware of what's coming and what's going to be laid down on our people. All right. Was that it? Oh yeah, keep going.
And choose none of his ways.
Say that one more time.
And choose none of his ways.
Right. And choose none of his ways. Right. You don't gotta choose his ways. Oh, let me see. Right, you're right. Black is nothing but a color, right? That's what it is. But it speaks to our condition, right? It speaks to our condition in America. I don't know about y'all, man, but I get upset when I see these things happen to our people every day, right? I just got the ability to go out on in camp and unload out in the public. You know what I'm saying? But for the people that don't have this, what we have, this very special thing that we have, then they got to try to compartmentalize all of these different things and try to be able to make sense of it all. And what's that new Mataz Bob? Make it make sense, right? Because when we don't understand that the power lies within the blacks and Hispanics and the Native Indians, when we don't understand that power lies with us, then we are just like that dog, right? Who just fully well accepted that he's going to get shocked no matter what he does, right? And we can't ever just get to that point where we just totally beat down. Our leadership, look at our leadership. They look tired, don't they? They look tired. Like they just ready to die. Like they haven't said nothing since what? COVID started? I haven't heard nothing from none of them since COVID started, I mean, you'll have a few might try to come out when George Floyd got killed or whatever. And, they had everybody thinking that this was it and that police brutality was going to be over and it was a new day in America. But you see, right after George Floyd got killed, it kept on going on. Because we have brotherhood and sisterhood at the wrong times. We don't have it. We have it when it's convenient. Right? All right. Any more? All right, let me get Proverbs 8:33. I'm gonna go back to that, right? Because I wasn't done. Proverbs 8:33.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
Hear instruction.
Hold on. Matter of fact, go to 32, please.
Come.
Uh-huh.
Verse 32. Now therefore hearken unto me, O ye children.
Mm-hmm.
For blessed are they that keep my ways.
Right, that what?
That keep my ways.
Our leadership don't keep the Lord's ways. And when you don't keep the Lord's ways, by default, you're going to be a sellout. You're going to be a sellout. That's exactly what you're going to be. No doubt about it. The minute you leave the truth, you are going to turn into a sellout. Right. A sellout. And our leadership, they take pride in our destruction. They take pride in the fact that we're not capable and up to their speed, right? Because and that's so disgusting, right? Read on, warrior.
Come. Verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Blessed is the man that heareth me.
Say that one more time.
Blessed is the man that heareth me.
Mm-hmm.
Watching daily at my gates.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting at the post of my door.
Mm-hmm.
For whoso findeth me findeth life.
Say that one more time.
For whoso findeth me findeth life.
One more time.
For whoso findeth me
findeth life.
Right. That should be your desire. Right? That should be your main desire in life. Right? Is to accept the Lord. Right? Accept the instruction. Right? And don't shape your desires off of what you think your desires should be. Because our desires are shaped by who controls our environment. Right? So your desires is the oppressor's desires. Right? It's because they have control of our communities. They have control of our environment. So you might think that your desire is your own, but it's not, because everything that you do is shaped for you to desire it, or or anything that you do is it's implanted in your brain, but you think that it's something that you came up with. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. All right. Keep going.
And shall obtain favor of the Lord.
And shall what?
And shall obtain favor of the Lord.
Right. You should always want that. Right? Like, and you got to really work at it too. You got to work at it. It's not like you it's like, okay, you can't keep just letting everything just go in and out of your brain. Right? You got to really get the tools necessary to work it. Right? Because we not up here speaking for our health.
Right.
I mean, we ain't up here. I mean, I know it's free, but damn. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, at least, do something, because when you go to that college and they tell you, hey, look, for me to talk to you, it's gonna be 80 grand. You're gonna make sure you pay attention, ain't you? You're gonna make sure you do what you gotta do so that you can get up out of there and get what you gotta get. You ain't gonna play around with it because it's tapping your pockets. All right. So you always want to, whenever you get into situations where you can learn, man, you always want to take full advantage. All right, go ahead.
I just got another precept about our leaders.
Go ahead.
In Book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity.
Say that one more time, please.
Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee.
Yeah, they always see that. Like they thinking that we're gonna sing old Negro spirituals, right? We're gonna finally we're gonna walk to the promised land together, right? we going to the promised land, but we ain't gonna be the same, right? Because somebody's gonna have to build the promised land. I know I'm not trying to do it. I mean, you know what I mean? We already did that. I'm not trying to build the promised land. Somebody's gonna have to build it, and it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be us, right? Somebody's gonna have to do it.
Right.
Somebody got to build a building. It takes work, right? You gotta dig the footers. You gotta dig. You know what I mean? Then you gotta put the concrete in the ground, the rebar. You know what I'm saying? After you do that, after you get the footers in there, then you can build the first floor, and then you got to put everything up, the steel. You got to move it. You got to get the crane operator in there. You got to get the laborers in there. It's a lot of work to build a building. I was able to work on 2 buildings from the ground up, big buildings too, smart buildings. So I got to see from the ground, because I was working concrete work. I was a laborer for concrete work, which is hard work. But I did that, and then once it got to the certain point where, we laid all the floors, with the concrete and everything, and it was time for them to leave, I got on with another trade. You know what I mean? Which was the electrical trade. And then I started doing electrical all the way up until the end, because the electricians usually stay all the way to the end of the project. And then I was able to see the building built from the ground, from the dirt, for nothing, all the way to a big building. And once we did one building, we went and did another. So I'm very well aware of how much work it takes to build, and somebody gonna have to build it,
right?
And it ain't gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? Like and so that this is why, our brotherhood is definitely important, because if we can't come together, then guess who's gonna be building? Guess who's gonna build this place? Who's gonna keep building? Who's gonna keep cleaning this place? Us. And I'm not trying to make it be prolonged forever. All right. Go ahead. Keep going.
And they have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity.
Right. Because they don't they're okay with us being in captivity. They're okay with it because they feel like this is a better position for us because we wouldn't be able to live or survive anywhere else without having the authority over top of us that rules over us, right? The problem with that is that the authority that rules over us is cruel, right? It's a cruel dictatorship that's over top of us, right? Who will kill you? Like the oppressor kills in so many ways. You think just killing you is just him shooting you with it like a cop, like Matala Powell's bringing down. Like we relegate racism and the oppression to the KKK or a racist cop in Minnesota, right? That's what we relegate with racism and them killing us too. When they kill us in so many ways, the water, the air, you know what I mean, the medication, everything. They kill us in so many ways that we can't even fathom the damn idea of it, right? Or how evil it is. And this is why Commander John Yohana, like, he always pushes that brotherhood and that sisterhood, right? This is what this whole school is built on. It's built on that foundation. Without that foundation, then we have nothing. Then we just like niggas in the world. Same thing. You can't let a nigga in the world pass you up. Like in brotherhood, they've got more brotherhood than we got, and they ain't even in here. You know what I'm saying? Like our brotherhood is what's gonna make you shine. All the wonderful things that you want in life, all the blessings that you want from the Lord is gonna come, right? But you gotta get it the right way. Right. You gotta make sure your heart is right. You understand? Like those are the things. Like I've gotten glory by being in here, right? You can get glory. You can get real glory. The Lord will give it to you. It's not something like you just setting out to do it, of course. But the real glory is when your peers can recognize it. Right? And when your peers recognize it, it's because the Lord recognized it. Right? That's how brothers get their name. That's how sisters get their name. That's how brothers get rank raises. It's not when you get a rank raise, do you ask for it? No, because you was working, right? And the Lord noticed it. And because the Lord noticed the work that you were doing, the Lord put that on the hearts of the men that was above you to recognize it and see it. That's how it works. It doesn't work by you saying, hey, can I have a rank raise? Because if you do that, you're never getting a rank raise. You're never going to get it. If you come up and ask for your name, you're not getting it. You're going to wait a little longer, right? Because we want the Lord wants to, you know what I mean, give you the glory for that, right? So you can be like, oh, I'm no longer this. I'm known as this now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the glory, and you can get it, right? You just got to get it the right way, and how you get it is through the ISUPK, man, in the school, right? The brothers and the sisters, your peers, your brothers that's around you, man, that that'll die for you. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how you have to move forward in anything that you do. Always understand that. All right. Any more on that, warrior?
Gone. But have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment.
Mm-hmm. Yup. All the damn time. Right? Because really, that's exactly what it is. It's like we're the people in America that's banished. We're banished to the ghetto, right? We ain't where we at. We in the ghetto everywhere, and you could tell right where we at. That sign and that wonder, you could tell exactly where we at. We're in that place, right? That we're banished to. We're banished to the ghetto, right? But the ghetto can be an amazing place. All we have to do is understand that how great we are, right, and understand that what we've been doing up until this point doesn't work. We see that it doesn't work. Right. Islam don't work. It don't work. This nigga gets up there and talk about the Bible all day, but they supposed to be Muslims. It makes no sense to me. I haven't heard him quote. You know, the only time you hear Muslims quote the Torah, I mean not the Torah, but the surahs in the Quran is when they doing a debate. That's the only time they do it. I'll never sit there and be like, yeah, because first sword such and such, second sword such and such says that we should do this. They never say nothing about none of that. Go ahead.
But the crazy thing is that when they use their speech, they always quoting out of the Bible, but then somehow tear it down at the same time to make the Quran valid or whatever.
Right.
But it's like it's an oxymoron. You can't quote out of it and then say that it's fake at the same time.
Right. If we don't look, this is gonna have to happen. if we don't wake up and understand and do something radical, right? Which means like to separate our spirit, because that's the most radical thing we could do, is separate, right, our spirit. Because just even the thought of trying to get equality is radical to white supremacy. Like that is totally radical. Like that is something that is worthy to them of death. For you to say we equal, what? Equal. So they got us out here thinking that we equal with Jeff Bezos. Okay, I guess so. Right? It's like the illusion of inclusion that we always seem to fall into. That you know what I mean? That we seem to fall into that dream. You know what I'm saying? Like that convoluted perception of reality. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we always seem to gravitate towards, because essentially with voting and trying to figure out a way we can all come together, that's in the religion in itself. That's Christianity. Christianity is waiting on the oppressor that's finally gonna do right by black people. Ain't that what we've been? Swing low, sweet chariot. We always been wanting to get out of here, right? So now that we feel like, okay, well, we can't go nowhere, we can't beat them, so we just gonna have to join them, right? So the average brother, right? He's not gonna go because he's not gonna go like, okay, take your gangster, right? A gangster, a brother, a gangster, right? It don't matter what gang, whatever. They're not gonna go at the oppressor because they know they can't win that way. So then what's the easier thing to do? To become allies with white supremacy, right? And do the work for white supremacy and go and destroy your brothers and sisters.
Right.
Because you two be made, you know what I mean, to really face the elephant in the room. And that's the difference with us and them. That's the difference. The difference is we're willing to face the elephant in the room and fully well address who is oppressing us and who is, the devil the Bible speaks of. But our people is so damn weak because of the leadership that's ruling them, Christianity that rules our people, which makes you so damn weak, right? You can't address the elephant in the room. So what does that make you? That makes your ego take, a lot of hits, right? Your ego takes a lot of hits. So now what do you do to somebody who disrespects you on Instagram? You'll go get the AK and shoot up the whole block because you're weak. All right, go ahead.
It's a lot, sir, but like a perfect recent example of someone doing the oppressor's job for them would be Alpo, who recently just got found murdered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He killed his partner, killed people, went to jail, snitched, and got more people in the system, what I mean? Then did 25 years and come home, and then got him.
Alpo would never be as bad as he was to our people, as his own people, as he would he would never be as bad to the oppressor as he was to our people, to his own people. I'm not, because he's our people too. You know what I'm saying? But he would never do nothing like that. His everything that he does was directed towards his own people, and that's what's accepted in America. That's what's accepted in white supremacy. It's accepted for you to destroy your own people. You can have all the money in the world, but you better go to Africa and use it. You better not do nothing here that's going to uplift the conditions of anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah, a person get rich. This is what they'll do. They'll just, put a few niggas on who they deal with around them. right? That's what it'll really affect. It'll affect that, but it won't be like, okay, let's get this money and let's go buy 3,000 acres. And then we're going to start a subdivision and make subdivisions out of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, we can have the money. The money is a defense, of course, and it's good to have bread. You know, I'm not saying that it's not good to have money, but at the same time, it's like it's pointless to think that money is what's going to save us out of this captivity, right? Black people, they said in 2020, what was it, 2020, we spent $1 trillion worth of spending, just spending. You know what I mean? Just straight up, just spending on everything. Like literally, like the money that we actually have that we're spending shows that, you know, money, it can't save us. You know what I mean? Right. Jay-Z, all of these people, they got billions of dollars. You know what I mean? You know, and I'm not saying that they should give us any of their money. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't believe in celebrities. We don't believe that a celebrity is gonna do what he's gonna do to free Black people, because this is not their fight. The fight is us here in the ISUPK. This is the fight. We're the leaders that's going to be the next leaders. So when we sit in these classes and we have these talks, it's us essentially having a think tank, right? We're thinking of how we're going to run the world. Go ahead, Matazava.
I got a scripture. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 6.
You got to read a little bit louder so I can hear you.
Calling out for y'all.
Okay, Isaiah, we'll say that one more time.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 6.
Isaiah, say it one more time. Isaiah what?
Chapter 5 and verse. Isaiah chapter 4.
4 and verse 6?
And verse 6.
Let me get there with you real quick. Isaiah. And whenever you're ready, you got it.
You know, talking about the ISUPK.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from storm and from rain.
Right. And I'm gonna read it one more time. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the day, in the time from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert. A covert. Is that covert or covered? Covert from storm and from rain. Go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. That's this place. You know what I mean? Like, because our leadership aren't able to lead Black people, the Lord always left a place where Black people can come and get shelter, can come and get answers, can come. We can come and be the think tank. We can come and get ourselves together. You know, we doing exactly what the scriptures say, you know, come together, you know what I mean? So we coming together, we got, you know, our Mexican brothers, our Haitian brothers, brothers from everywhere. And this school is a place of refuge for a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? So that they can have shade from the heat and, you know, be able to protect themselves from the storm. Like,
yeah, right.
You know,
right, exactly. And this is why it's important, you know.
These doors open, like,
right.
Stay in the truth, for brothers to, you know, keep trying to rise through the ranks, keep learning, keep doing that kind of stuff, so that we can keep these doors open, so the tabernacle could be open for brothers and sisters. Like you say, Commander General Yohana earlier said, or last night said, in 2 years it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's what Commander General Yohana said.
People are going to be rushing up in here to find answers. People are going to want to know what's up. Like, what should I do next?
Yeah, because look, you see what's happening. You got police officers walking off the job. You got healthcare workers walking off the job. You got firefighters walking off the job. You know what I mean? You got so many people that's deciding to not get vaccinated, right? And they're fully willing to just say, you know what, this is it, right? So what does that force us to do? That's going to force us to come together. It's going to force us to have to figure out ways to get by, right? Because I mean, you can't go and you can't travel. You can't go into these places and do all these things. You know, it's going to force us to have to come together. And that's a great thing for us. You know what I mean? That's a great thing for us to figure out a way to come together. You know what I mean? Like when the food is short. Man, I saw a damn, it was like a 3D picture of like all the you know, like the port, you know what I mean, the stuff that's out at sea that they're not letting come in. I mean, it's like so many ships out there that, you know what I mean, it's like they got so much stuff, like, and because of like COVID, you know, the COVID restrictions, different things like that, like it's like almost as if like they're planning it to fall, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, and pretty much that's what it looks like, you know what I mean? It looks like this is all like, they want this whole place to fall internally, you know what I mean? And I hope it does, you know what I mean? Because then, you know, of course, when things, you know, are in calamity, that's when they come out with new stuff, and, you know, and more control they take from people, of course. You know, our leadership rolls over a lot more, you know. But if you ever look at like history, you know, you look at like the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire didn't fall because somebody attacked it and it fell. The Roman Empire fell because it fell internally. It fell because of the oppression. It fell because the people were fighting with each other. It fell because of the high taxes. It fell because the oppression from the rich and the poor, right? The wealth gap between the rich and the poor, right? And it grows every day here in America. The rich get richer, right? And the wealth gap is widening so much that it's ridiculous. And here we are, not even in the game. We ain't in the game. You know what? Because we're not in the game, we'll get ruled over by whoever comes in power. If the Arabs came in power right now, we'll be under the Arabs right now.
Right.
We'll be dressing like Arabs right now. Ding 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 ding. That's what we be doing all day. That's exactly what we be doing. We'll scratch the European ideology and we'll pick that up because that's who's going to rule. And guess what? Whatever resources we have, you can come take them.
Right.
Whoever want to come take them, come on and take it. Because our brotherhood and sisterhood is so shot that we'll let it go to anybody who's willing to come in and take it. And we can't live like that anymore.
Right.
We can't have that same mindset going into 2022. It's the end of the year already, right? We already got Halloween was what, Sunday or something like that, and you know it's a BS Thanksgiving, Christmas over, done. 2022, and here we are again going into another year worse than we went off into 2020. Then we came in, leaving 2020 into 2021. We're coming in again, even worse than we was before. Because next year, the COVID's still going on. COVID ain't going nowhere. That's evident.
Right.
COVID ain't going nowhere. So you're going to have more people walking off jobs. You're going to have more shortages of food. You're going to have people that are going to, how like they try to, because it's not going to be, it's more so going, like, okay, so people with resource, like, okay, so when they say, okay, you can't work, person can't work, right? You can't have access to the essential things that you need to feed your family, right? So what is that going to cause people to do? What do people without resources do to people with resources? Exactly. So what does that essentially make the people that's looking for the resources? That make you zombies. That makes them zombies. Right? You know how we've been watching, they've been priming us for years with this zombie stuff. That's what it makes you. It makes you crazy because you're desperate. So now you're gonna look downstairs and somebody here gonna come in your damn window. Right? Because remember the oppressor, he buying up all the ammo, he buying up all, like, they've been stockpiling guns for years and years and years and years. Y'all remember that show called Doomsday Preppers? They already got, look, oh man, look, let me show you something, man. Let me show you. This is how unaware we are. All right. Okay, this is called underground. Hold on. Underground condos for sale. Underground condos for sale. You can go to designboom.com and they have condos that are already built underground. I know y'all probably can't see that. But they got condos that are selling Like literally, like if you go to I can't. Oh man, I wish I could show y'all this. If you could you slide this up just so that people can see it? You know, I'm kind of pressed for time. But if you just kind of like scroll, if you just scroll like up the screen in front of the camera, just so they can see it. See that? Those are the condos that they have underground, already ready. They already preparing. And guess who's gonna have to deal with it? The people that don't have no damn brotherhood or sisterhood. And we're gonna be left with all the damn calamity, we're gonna have to deal with all the stuff that, you know what I mean, that we have not been preparing for. You know what I'm saying? And it's because of our leadership. Like, and that's the wild. Yeah, they got underground farming, everything. Yeah, they got farming, pools, all that underground. Food, you name it. I think them joints is going for like, I think $1 million a piece. You could buy one. You could buy one, and you know, you once everything, and then it's stored with food, ventilation, everything. You just go in, the place locked, you know what I mean, and then you go underground and you under there because they are completely ready for what's going to go down. And we up here still twerking on TikTok, right? Unaware. Like, remember the general said it. Like, you notice how like when they were saving people from during Hurricane Katrina, y'all remember that? When they was getting people, like saving people off the roof. Those kids had diapers, like how they had like they had house clothes on. You feel me? Like the babies had like, they just had like a diaper and a shirt. Like the people were getting saved off of their roofs, like still in their robes, still in their pajamas. Because and it was a storm coming. It was a hurricane coming. But because we're so unprepared for destruction, we didn't even consider that the house might blow away. You see what I'm saying? Because we wasn't prepared. And this is what the ISUPK is doing. You know what I mean? Commander General Hunter is preparing us, because I'm telling you, it's gonna go down, and you wanna make sure that you're prepared. That's right. You definitely want to do that, because you're not prepared, then you F-U-C-K, right? I believe. Let me go one more scripture. 2 Ezra 6:55. All right. Yeah, Emma, Matthew 11:28-30. Yeah, right. We do got work to do. Brother said we'll be singing Abi Bibi. Abi Bibi. If that he was responding if if the Arabs take over. Yeah, that's right. We will be doing that. Underground condos. Kana said, "Wow, underground condos. I recall Doomsday Preppers show, but I thought that it was just people who doing it far and few. The oppressor, they are getting ready. They've been stocking up ever since COVID started. You know what I mean? Remember when the gun stores used to have a line all the way around the building? People trying to buy all the guns because they thought that, remember when everybody was stealing the toilet paper and stuff? Not stealing it, but everybody was going out and getting toilet paper. Remember when COVID first started? Everybody was running out and taking all the stuff off the rack. People was fighting over toilet paper. I'm talking about that time. Remember, that was a time when they was stocking up all the guns. The cat in my slavery was like, yo, man, yeah, I'm gonna go out and get a gun today, man. You know, like they was shook because they thought that was the end of the world when COVID first came. They thought that was it. You know what I mean? But now here we are, a year later, well, about 2 years later when COVID started, and, now, people are starting to get that hype is starting to come more and more because now we have the vaccine mandates, and different things like that. People walking off the jobs. with less police officers. You're gonna have you're gonna have the what's that word I'm looking for? You're gonna have the something of more crime. You're gonna the possibility of more crime taking place and not having somebody there, the police to respond to it. You know, you're gonna have more fires going on because you don't have the fire department to respond to it, because so all of these things are going on around the world and around the earth, and we're not understanding what's going on. Go ahead, Matata Paul.
Like you said, like we see in the beginning stages of America falling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like all the things that you just mentioned. Then like Afghan refugees coming in here, Haitian refugees coming in here, all them Edomites that do not support the government.
Mm-hmm. they popping up.
When Donald Trump left, the Capitol riot.
Mm-hmm.
Got so many things going on.
Right.
It's like the beginning of the end.
Right. Then they don't want to lose, the grip on white supremacy. Right, because it's very, very practical, and it's not something that's irrational that we might think, because like Matala Pa broke it down on that, and that's why I said that, that's why I put it like that, because we would be led to believe that racism is something that's irrational, like it's an irrational thing that the oppressor does against us, and it's not. It's very, very practical, right? And so if it's something that's very, very practical for their very survival, then it's nothing that you can do that's going to make them not exist. You see what I'm saying? How would you what can you tell somebody that survives off of you, right? What's it called? I'm talking about parasitism. Parasitic. I can't even say it. But the oppressor thrives and lives off of you. So if you tell him that you don't want him to oppress you and live off of you, then you're telling him that he can't exist. And if you're telling him that he can't exist, then you can't exist, because that's the opposite end of the spectrum, right? It's total opposites. So if you're not them, you're the other. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we always been in America, the other people. The other is anything that's opposite of them. Right. And our leadership is too dumb and too B-made to understand that. Right? Go ahead. I think I called out, what was this? Second Ezra? Okay, you got it.
Book of Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 55.
Uh-huh.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord.
Uh-huh.
Because thou madest the world for our sake.
Right. If the Lord made the world for our sakes, then why are we going through this every day? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we dealing with this every day? Why are we sitting out here still trying to convince the oppressor that we have a soul and we're just people? Right? Convincing them we got a soul. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam.
No, I think I wanted, what was that? What I wanted? 50. You can skip down to 55. It's 6 and 56. Yeah, 55 and 56. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Verse 56. And as for the other people, which also come of Adam.
That's not the one I wanted. 57. Go to another verse down.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
Right, they devour us. Because, we thought brainwashing was like, you had to go, to a concentration camp. And, you know what I mean? And they tape your eyeballs, they tape your eyelids open and make you watch a bunch of videos all day. That's what we thought brainwashing was, right? But really, brainwashing is just the illusion that you got freedom. That's brainwashing you, right? You know how we thought you got to go to a concentration camp and they had to do some study, tie you down, tie your eyelids open and make you watch all kinds of videos. That was brainwashing you, but it's far simpler than that, right? Go ahead.
Verse 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands.
Mm-hmm. We give it into their hands, right? The firstborn, right? Go ahead.
Verse 59. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
That's right. Go ahead.
How long shall this endure?
Right. How long will it endure? It will endure as long as until we wake up and understand that we have to do something different. Right. Because remember, the oppressor is very, very concerned about what you think. They're very concerned about what you think in your brain, right? They're concerned with that because as long as they can shape your environment, right, that they can control what you think. Right. But when you start to do things radical and you start to separate from the oppressor and he doesn't know what you're thinking, then that's when he becomes very, very, very concerned. And so what we should do is something that's very radical, you know what I mean? And something that we have never done. And that's have brotherhood and sisterhood and keep it up and keep it strong. All right. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Precinct Officer Matazi Yala.
ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if your brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for the priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations, we had the Feast of Dedication, November 28th at sundown, which is a Sunday. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, remember Israel Amajim. We'll give teacher a courtesy salute. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Barak.
Yahaba Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Gazmatah. Sar, which means to turn. Sisters Amajim, which means to stand. We're going to give sister a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat. Amajim. Barak.
Yahweh Shemar Alatam Hashem Yahushua.
Yazmatah. Class dismissed.
So let's get out of here. They ready to go anyway.